This is a juicy one. Artists and money. And I've actually covered this just a little bit in another video talking about saying that crafts is just your hobby. So many times that can be a way of just settling. It comes from fear, and we're actually going to talk about the fears behind it in this video. Just keeping it as a hobby, it can be out of shadow or not. I've covered shadows in artwork in the previous video, but yeah, this is specifically on those fears that can come up. And okay, let's start with talking about the fact that artistry, art, craft is more of a feminine energy. It's about receiving, it's about intuition, it's about feeling, it's about expressing yourself. Now, money is masculine energy. It's about being assertive, it's about taking action and going for what you want. So those two are so opposing energies. That's why it's so hard for artists to actually get, there are so many starving artists, and it's hard for them to actually get to monetize their passion. That's such a cliche to say that, but that's what it is. And so there are two types of artists, which I'm gonna get into more detail in a video specifically for this. But there are the artists that are very dreamy and so much in this feminine energy. They are with, like, they don't seem to be in this reality. You know how people say they are too dreamy. Basically, that's what they are called. And they don't want to take the action. They don't want to go and make money out of it. There are some core fears related to this, so there may be different reasons, but the thing is, they just want to do their artwork and that's all they want to do, right? And they may argument this as, that's my decision, I'm okay with it, but it's not. It's just a way for, if you're saying this, it's just a way for you, and believe me, I've been there, that's where I've been, the one that doesn't want to take action, because if I'm good enough, if I'm just gonna practice some more, I'm gonna get good enough and someone's gonna notice me. That's not the way shit works. That's just not what it is. Because your energy is basically in your child and you're just hoping that someone's gonna save you. And it's not. You need to step up and take control over your life. I keep doing this with the fist in the table and my phone is probably gonna fall. Anyway, so this is one category where they are afraid to actually take action, and that's why they don't get to the money. Now the other, on the opposite side, there are the people that take too much action. Actually, the ones that take a lot of action are the ones putting in the hard work. They are the ones that if you tell them that hard work is killing your talent, they are gonna get super pissed off and actually feel threatened and attacked by that statement. They are the people that do everything that it takes, but they actually don't, because what they do is do out of shadow. So if you take a lot of action, if you take massive action, if you take it out of shadow, which means fear, you may not see it as fear at the surface, but it can come from the need to do something and always the need to be more than what you are right now. So you're constantly living in a future and you're not satisfied with what you're doing right now. You're not seeing your value. You're not actually saying what you have to say and exploring your talent. You are just running the hamster wheel and you're not getting anywhere. And you keep getting this frustration that I'm taking so much action and I'm not getting the results. That's because your action is out of shadow. You need to get back to square one to get to square one. Don't get so discouraged by saying this, because you never go to square one. You're always, all the experience that you have gathered so far is going to help you one way or another, so you're never actually going backwards. But what I'm saying is you need to just stop whatever the fuck you're doing if it's not working out and it's out of shadow, and to determine where the shadow is, where the core is, and kill that, and then start taking inspired action. but chances are that you don't know exactly what this intuition is. What the intuition is in order to actually take action on intuition. You confuse intuition with your mind telling you what you have to do. It's not the same thing at all. It's very important to know how to differentiate that. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the fear of, this comes in what I was talking about, up-leveling from just your craft just being a hobby to actually making it your career, your business. It's this fear of, if I make my passion my work, there's not going to be any more fun left in it. And I have been there. I've had my craft, just my hobby, and I've also been, and I'm gonna be honest, when that was the case, I was just settling, and I then moved to making it my work, my actual work, and it wasn't fun anymore. But here's why. That's not something that should happen. That's something that normally happens just because people don't have standards or have very low standards. That's what happened to me, because I had no standards whatsoever. So you think that if you start doing your work and your work depends on clients, you won't have the freedom to do what you want, because you will have to do what they want you to do. But that's not the thing. If you have very low standards, indeed, clients are going to come to you and they are going to tell you what you have to do, and you are going to execute. Now, it also depends on, let me just think. Yeah, if that's the case, there are low standards involved. When you up your standards, there's going to be, we've talked about this before, there's going to be a period of time. It's actually not time, it's shadow, but whatever. In order for you to surpass all the shadow, to close the gap between where you are now and those new standards, in order to actually get into that energy of the high standards, there are gonna come a lot of situations where your standard is gonna be challenged, to see if you actually have the energy to hold the standard. Meaning that clients that are gonna come to you and say, hey, I want you to execute this, and you are gonna have to, in order to hold your standards, you're gonna say no, because that client is not, that project actually is not something that makes you enthusiastic. You don't actually want to work on that project, and you're not gonna say yes just because of the money. If you say that, money has power over you. But having crappy standards for money, meaning doing something just for little money, it's not gonna get you more money. You're always gonna struggle with getting money, because money has power over you. You don't have power over the money. You cannot manifest money easily. It's not gonna come easily if you don't control the money, and the money controls you, and you are afraid of the money. So, and even if you make it easily, it's gonna go as easily. Just a bit sidetracked there. But about the passion that you have for what you do, it's going because, again, you have low standards and you're taking on projects that you should say no to. But you are afraid to do that. You're afraid to not please everyone. You're afraid to, if you're gonna say no to this project, you're never gonna get, there's a lot of shadow involved in there, to be honest, and we cannot actually cover all of it. But the idea is that if you have high standards and you're keeping them, you're gonna start attracting clients that actually want to give you the freedom. Like when you hire someone very good at what they do, you hire them for their expertise, and you don't want to be involved in every step of the way. You want to just tell them, you want to give them the freedom that they need. Just do your thing, do your magic. And that's what you want to be for others. You want to be the expert in what you do. You want to be that person that the magician, the person that has that ability that no one else has. Because if you are in your true talent, if you're expressing your true talent, that is unique to you, and no one else is doing exactly what you're doing. But in order for you to be confident about that, you will have to actually tap into your talent. So when you have that, you will start attracting clients that want to give you all the freedom that you need in order to do whatever you want, because they will trust you. Because here's the thing, what you do is beyond what they think you are capable of doing. The job of the client is not to come with super specific indications. You are the one, if you are in your power and you are speaking and expressing from your talent, you already sense and know how to exceed, even not to satisfy the client, to exceed the expectations of that client in the project. But you have to be truthful to you and the project that you actually want to work on. So the fun does not go away if you have standards. Have high standards and hold them. And the third thing that I want to touch on is the fear of being, what I wrote here, being salesy or bothering people. So it's what I talked about a bit at the beginning, the people that are so afraid to take the action, and the artists who are like, I'm just okay doing my artwork here, and if I'm good enough, people are just gonna come to me, or I'm gonna meditate and I'm gonna attract people. Yeah, that attraction shit is a thing, but it's a thing because it's not how you think it is. It doesn't work the way you think it is, because in order to get to a certain energy, like energy attracts, right? But it's actually not even about attraction. You're actually gonna, when you reach a certain energy, a certain vibration, you will just reflect it. So it's not a matter of am I attracting it or not. It's just gonna happen. If it didn't happen up until now, it means that you are not there energetically, right? But in order to get there energetically, you don't have to meditate. That's not the thing that you have to do. You have to take control. You have to understand that you have to not wait for anything. You have to just tune into your intuition and see what it is that you have to do. In order to succeed, you have to go at it until you do succeed. So it's about taking action, not crazy action out of desperation, but learning to tune into yourself, into your intuition, and to act on your intuition. But be ready to do whatever it takes to get what you want to get. So you need determination, and magic is going to start happening. Magic manifestation when you don't need the magic to happen. When you are going to words are not coming out of my mouth. When you are willing to do whatever it takes to get to what you want to get. When you are not limited by fear and shadow. That's how you start taking control, and that's by taking control and not needing something from someone else. It's when, because if someone says no, that's okay. Someone else is going to say yes. I'm still going to do it until someone says yes, So it's not needing for things to turn out a certain way or needing people to act in a certain way. It's about you taking control of your actions. And if this didn't happen now, it's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to go at it until it does fucking happen. There's a lot more small little shadows or aspects of shadows to be talked about, but in order to get to the bottom of all of this, just get into my group. Talent is your mistress, and if you are really determined, work with me one-on-one or in my group program that I just launched, Chaos Artistry. Contact me for details for that. Bye guys.